introduce yourself?
Uh, you may have the floor, sir.
Okay. Well, do we wish to start the recording? Let me know when, and if we can record, or if we will record. It's up to you, Chris.
It's already started.
Okay, perfect. Well, welcome everybody. This is WB, the developer for China and for Beijing. And we've been working hard behind the scenes for 2 full months, working on 7 of 8 foundations completed and well maturing already. The 8th I started 2 months ago, but I have not been able to complete it yet. And we have the privilege and the great benefit of having both Chris Hanks. Oh, Michelle is also on as co-host, but muted. I didn't realize that till now. And Sean Starr all here with us now, and Sean is unmuted as well. So just if you don't know who they are a key triad team that works with Keith daily or often in Sean's case in between visits to his mom when she was in the hospital twice. Thank you everybody for your prayers. She went into ICU several times, survived 3 death-defying surgeries, was not supposed to. There's no medical way to explain it, said the doctors, and she's back at home again. So thank you so much for the miracles, and let's ask for and thank for the miracles in advance occurring with this project with Chris, Michelle, and Sean to keep them safe and sound. And they have been huge contributors. I think Chris spends hours a day with Keith at this stage, and I think Michelle often does as well, I understand. And Sean does as often as he can. So without further ado, they are basically saving the day for all of us in every way possible. And I can't say enough how much they have put in time and energy and effort for everyone. So over to you, Chris, Michelle, and Sean, and thank you so much for being here and helping us today.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Sean, are you there?
I I am here, young man.
Saw
How are you?
and pop back. Where's he going?
I'm here. I'm here.
Well, you
I'm
ordinarily.
hello.
Yep,
Can you hear me?
I can. Absolutely.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm here. I promise. I haven't left. It's just it might be the I'm not sure what it is, but I'm here. Who knows? Maybe it's the cold weather in New Mexico. So
Probably
I think the computers are even freezing. Yeah, it's okay. We got to 18 degrees, so remember it was a bit cold over here. The goose pimples were forming this morning. Okay, so
All the Canadians are feeling really sorry for you, Sean. Sorry, I'll go ahead and mute
I
out.
doubt I doubt it. They're probably going. That's short weather. Okay. Anyway, I'm here.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules and your days. For those of you who have not met Sean Starr, Sean Starr is one of our country developers. In my humble opinion, he has led the charge for all of us, and we're very grateful and thankful for being here. That being said, thank you, Sean, for taking time out of your day today to be here with this group. We've got a group of about 50 folks here, so that's fantastic.
Perfect.
And I think they really want to hear from you first. So I'm going to
Okay.
you folks because normally you close when we do a call together. So I'm gonna get you to open this time.
Well, I appreciate it. Well, thank you all for being here. Very excited to be here. We're all kind of tired today, so if we come across as raspy or a dry throat or any of those things, please don't take it personal. But here's where we're at. We've been pushing together quite hard, all of us. We're excited about our city developers and about all of the business that we're creating for the people. But I wanted to make sure today that this call was going over the back office, some of the stuff that's coming, some of the new announcements. I'll let Chris tell you some of those, so it just kind of has the effect that we want on it. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure that everybody understands that we're fixing lots of issues that needed to be done for infrastructure. We're very fortunate to have a business model that Fortune 100 companies, there's multiple companies kind of rolled up into one here, that are allowing us to have this opportunity with the licenses and a way to change our families' futures and futures of the people, and to have a partnership with them. And what's really unique that's actually coming into place has caused some time delays, not issues, but time delays to set up the infrastructure for us. Is normally Fortune 100 companies, they would go to sales companies or tech companies and people to go deliver what we're doing. And they're not. They're partnered with us to go do it. They partnered with Up to Give, but we're really trying to put together more of a direct system where we're working direct with a company that has more of a direct effect for all of us to have a business. So some of the things that we're getting in place is the infrastructure. We're taking care of the contracts, all of the automation, people to be able to cash out their coins, people to be able to get their checks, people to be able to make the sales without actually having to talk to anybody else or do a webinar. Email system so that you guys are updated. All of these things, which you're going to be hearing from Chris, have all been put into place, and your first thought was, well, they should have been ready before we got started. That's probably true, but the truth is sometimes you start at a project in one direction and you realize that you need to go take it to a completely different direction to make sure that the success of the people and the success, can't even speak, I've spoke so much, the success of the project actually leads out in the right direction that we want it to be in. And we're very fortunate that Keith Buck has allowed the three of us, and primarily Chris and Michelle, every day to start lining out direct relationships with the shippers, with the manufacturers, with IT, with the banking, and to work with Keith direct in setting up this infrastructure. And so I'd love to take all of the credit, but the truth is I'm definitely not the guy that gets all the credit. It's really Michelle and Chris have done the lion's share of the background, and without them, there's no way to support the most important part of the puzzle, which frankly is you. And that's why we wanted to have this call today, was just to express to you our consideration, to thank you, to make sure that you're understanding what's going on, why the time delays, what are we trying to accomplish. So what we're trying to accomplish is that the websites are easy, they're understandable. You can see the products, you can be able to cash in your coin, you'll be able to get your checks on time. You have all of these pieces that are necessary for the city licenses and for our customers to be able to go and to do it very directly without having an issue. And all of those pieces are just about in place, and Chris is going to go over all of that. But at the end of the day, instead of us going through different avenues to do that, we're really trying to combine. There's multiple companies that'll be working under one website to get the desired effect of what we're actually doing as a team. And so I really need you guys to sit back, listen to what Chris is going to tell you, ask your questions if you need to understand it more. But I want you to realize this one thing. This is not some network marketing issue. This is not Up to Give. This is not just some company. You guys, all of us, because we're all working together, get to build out the future of the IoT with the Fortune 100 companies that have the financing, the background, the wherewithal, and they're allowing us to be able to do that with them. Now, when I look up on the TV at night or during the day, or glimpses of YouTubes, or see what's going on in the news, or hit a Facebook, I don't know about all of you, but I'll be really glad when elections are over and life seems to be somewhat more normal and we're not so worried about the COVID process or issues and people having problems and the unrest that we see all over the world. But in saying that, I'm very thankful to have this opportunity to be here with you, all of you, because I feel like at least at the end of the day, I have a way to take care of my families and to make sure that not only am I taking care of my family and your family and all of us, but we actually have a way to go make some of the things possible that we just really don't have a way to do in a normal job. There's a lot of people that are very insecure right now because their 401ks, their pensions, their businesses, the types of businesses, they're not really the most secure ones right now with what's going on in the world. And so it builds a lot of tension. You can see it in the people. And we have a business that will take us into the 21st century and change all of our families and our friends' lives. And so think about that when you realize the infrastructure that's being put in place for all of us to be able to do this business together, to communicate properly, to be here together. It's simply the most important thing that we can do. So we stepped back. We told Keith what we needed to better organize the company. He was in complete agreement with it. Chris and Michelle led that charge out for us. And I'm very thankful that with his eloquent speaking and his background in business, he's been an absolutely incredible partner. Both of Chris and Michelle have been, as well as all of you. But the truth is, to get everything that I needed for you, I couldn't have done it without Chris and Michelle either. So I say all of that so that we understand the importance of being here as partners, being here as thoughtful business people together, so we solve problems, realize that it's not perfect yet, but it's fixing to be as perfect as it can. Problems will come up. The best thing that we need to do is talk with each other. But I think what you're going to see here in the short future, and I mean that you're going to see all these changes that are finally coming into effect this week, and what's coming together finally for us after this 2 months of showing Keith who we are as a team, all of us, that we now have something that's moving in a direction that's, frankly, it's 100 times better than I thought it would ever possibly be. And so that's probably how I'd like to lead this out. So today I would like to see Chris take you down the road, how we're going to do that, why this is important, why having you make sure that when you're speaking and talking with the people that you care about, the business people you care about, the individuals you care about, that they understand that this is not just some deal. This is about all of us helping each other to change your lives, our lives together. And you are the most important part to get that done, because we need you and you need us to go do this part. And we're doing the same part with you. We're actually doing it with you. We just took the bull by the horn, so to speak, because this is too valuable to let it walk away just to go do some other business that has no value in the world, no value of how it's actually going to change the world, no value of how it could possibly change our world so that our kids can have something different. This gives us that chance. That is why we're so very motivated to be here. That's why we work so hard. And it's for all of us to win, but we want you to make sure that at least with what's going on, if you understand what's going on, it will help alleviate any pain or fear that you think that you may have, or that there's some issue, that there's not issues. It's just when you realize when you're dealing with Fortune 100 companies, they have processes and checks and balances they got to go through. We're getting those so that they work much more quicker for our style of business. And I think once you see the finished product, and it's going to be a moving thing where we're always improving, but that takes all of us communicating and being together. But anyway, you guys have the general point. The point is we wanted to make sure that you were in the loop and understanding what's been going on, why the processes, what we've been getting in place, why is this important, what difference is it going to make, and why you need to pay attention and be here. And we really appreciate you. So, Chris, I don't know if today I'm so awkwardly tired. Apologize. I hope nobody takes that personal, but I hope that gives you at least a springboard that you can bounce out there and pick up where I didn't really leave you enough room, maybe. I don't know. But thank you, everybody, for being here.
You did fantastic, Sean. I appreciate it. So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Sean Starr. There's a lady by the name of Michelle Whidbey that's on the call with us. And if you look on your screen, you'll see her in the shadows over there in a red shirt rocking in her chair. Hey, Michelle, we love you. So without Michelle, Sean and I would be lost, number one. Number two, we would never show up for meetings on time. Half of your questions and emails wouldn't get answered. Nah, probably more than that. And at the end of the day, she just keeps everybody in a nice, neat row going forward. So thank you, Michelle, for that. Appreciate it, and don't want to do it without you. So let's talk to all of you guys. First and foremost, Sean just gave you guys a fantastic broad stroke of what is going on. Okay. And I want to be the first one to congratulate all of you all, everybody on this call right now. All 57 of you are winners. Okay. And you are winning because you chose to win. Okay. So let me manage your expectations for just a minute. We have winners and we have losers, right? And the only difference between winners and losers is one thing. Losers quit. Winners never stop. Okay. Winners never stop. And each one of you guys is a winner. and you don't stop. And we want to thank you for that. We want to recognize you for that. We want to let you know that we see you, we hear you, and we're here to empower you and help you along the way. And we just want to thank you, especially Michelle, for having patience with us and giving us grace, because we're not always able to answer you in an hour or get that email done, as fast as you would like for it to be. But know this, we are working tirelessly around the clock to make sure that everything is exactly the way we need it, so that when we take off, because we haven't even started yet, okay? Guys, I want you to think about this very, very quickly for a second. We had $1 million month. I'm going to say that again. We had $1 million month. The first month was $1 million. Okay. We haven't even begun yet. We didn't have any tools. We didn't have any webinars. We didn't have any printed materials. We didn't have a website to point people to. We couldn't even give someone a link to sign up. Don't tell me this isn't a group of winners, because I'm seeing it. Okay. I'm seeing it. That is amazing. Amazing. So I want to digress before we screen share and just hit a few of the points that Sean hit. Okay. Number one, you guys, whether you realized it or not when you joined us, I want you to know it now. You guys are part of something that is going to change the world forever. Now, you may have thought that, you may have felt that when you signed up. Okay. But what I'm seeing on the back end, what I have the privilege of sitting in and getting little sneak peeks at with Michelle, most of the time, at least a couple times a week, we get to see sneak peeks, right? But what I need you to understand is this is not multi-level marketing. It's not network marketing. It's not affiliate marketing. It's not any of that stuff. Okay. What you have your hands on is a business, and it's a direct sales business. And we just so happen to be partnered with, as Sean said, Fortune 100 companies, but they're corporate, guys. Let me tell you something. It's been a long time since Chris worked in the corporate world, and I am getting a refresher course in snail. Okay. I'm just being funny, guys. Corporate world always moves slower than any other world out there. Okay. And that's because they're dotting their I's, they're crossing their T's, and they're making sure that everything that is needed is done, and it's done correctly. And so I feel so blessed and honored to be taking that walk with all of you, and to have Sean Starr as a partner, to have Michelle as a partner, and each and every one of you all. Because see, this is what I know. If you guys were just interested in fast money and building the next network marketing thing, you would have already been gone. And you're all here. You're all here, and you're here because you know what's coming. You know what you have your hands on. So congratulations on that. Okay. Now, aside from saying that, I want to say that Keith Buck from Prime, he has tirelessly put in the hours. I mean, Michelle and I will still be up at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Keith is up with us, there to answer questions, guide us, send us down a trail, or work with our Asian friends, right? And I've never seen a company do that before. I've never seen the chairman of the board or the CEO working around the clock. Now, I say that, and as I say it, it sounds unreal to hear it coming out of my mouth, because this gentleman, he doesn't need any money. Okay. He's not doing it for money. We'll call him seasoned. Okay. He is definitely a spry young man. But at the same time, he has built his life. He has built his fortune. He has built his family's fortune. He's not doing that for this. He's doing it to help eradicate poverty and to make sure that every person on the planet has an equal opportunity to have enough nutrition and the things that they need. That's what he's about. Okay. And he sees what we're doing as a way to further that. So I just want to give you guys just a glimpse of what's going on. Now, having said that, as Sean said, we didn't have issues. We just had some minute things that, we wanted to better. We wanted to make better for the experience of the customer, for all of us. Okay. And we're working on all of that. We have 30 people in the dev team, 30, and they are working around the clock. And I mean that literally. There's someone working every hour of the day, 24 hours a day. And they're handing projects off to one another, and they're completing those projects. And as we see those projects culminate, we get excited because we see what we ask for, because sometimes we ask for things, we don't think people hear us. Okay. But we see what we're asked for, and we see it manifest before our very eyes. How fortunate can we be, right? How fortunate can we be? So some of those things look like integration of websites, and some of those things look like a tipping circle that actually performs and works the way that we would like for it to. And some of those things are payout systems that work with the touch of a button, that we don't have to audit. We don't have to be on our edge of our seat to make sure that everything happens the way it's supposed to. So there's a lot of moving parts to this. And the last thing I want to touch on that Sean said before I do show and tell is that this is a green project. Now, he didn't use that word, but I'm going to use that word. This is a green project. It's a very evergreen project. It's going to culminate and manifest itself before our very eyes as we grow with it. Okay, so expect changes. All right, expect things to get better and better and better and better. Okay, now along the way we may hit a speed bump or a pothole. Rest assured, that's all it is a speed bump or a pothole, because nothing is going to stop a mission that time has come. So I am going to actually now share my screen with you guys when I can get my mouse to wake up, right? So it just drives me nuts, guys. Sometimes those third-party products aren't the greatest things on the planet, right? So let's talk about what we're looking at now. All of you all should have seen this before. I hope you have. It's called the tipping circle. I hope that you know where your account is. I hope you know how to give your link to the tipping circle to someone. Okay. And if you don't, for those of you who don't, we'll take an extra minute, and we're going to go right here to tipping circle. Go to invite friends, please. When you go to invite friends, your link is right here, as well as a pre-written invitation to invite folks to come join you. Okay. So just want to make sure that everybody knows where that is. I believe they do, but you never know. And here's what I want to tell you. Last time we talked and last time we were here, I believe that you would remember that I said that I would love to have HRT right here, HNT right here, right? Between TRC and BTC. And for those of you who don't know, we asked for that to happen. As a matter of fact, Sean and I had a meeting with the head of the dev department, and he said, absolutely, no problem. I'll get right on that. And he did, and only to be pulled off of it the next morning by others. And that's okay, because we didn't know what was going on behind the scenes. Okay. So we didn't know what they were already working on. So what they were working on, if you are familiar with this section right here of the, excuse me, guys, of the dashboard, if you'll run over your dashboard word with your cursor, it's going to show you 3 now instead of 2, 3 options, and there's going to be a lot more. Okay, but 3 options. The third option is PrimeGate Global Dashboard. Now, this is really, really important, okay? Because like all of you all, and we do want you to know, Michelle and I definitely want you to know, Sean too, we get frustrated and aggravated just like everybody else, okay? And we ask questions just like everybody else, okay? And we were asking, why can't we see our HNT? Why can't we see our HNT? Well, we now know why we couldn't see our HNT and why it was so important for them to take their time, because we needed to be able to see that in multiple places, not just one place. So you will be seeing in the very near future HNT here as a third icon. Now, when you click the Prime Global Dashboard, you're going to be swooped into the next page. This is live, by the way, for each and every one of you guys. Okay. Remember to be very careful and allow this to authenticate for you the first time you come here. All right. Now, do you see something here? TRC, Helium, and Bitcoin, exactly like we asked for it on the other page, right? But they were working on this. And up until about 10 hours ago, maybe, this was not even solid and stable. Yes, it was there for some people. And yes, I could see it. And yes, I probably could have even shown this to you. Yes. But here's what I know about that. As soon as I show it to somebody, you guys are going to want to show it to somebody. And you know what happens when you go there and it doesn't work? We look back. So we wanted to make sure that it was stable before we started putting it out there for people to look at. Now, what's real important is you're in your PrimeGate Global dashboard now, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, let me pause here for just a second, okay? You all signed a contract, a license. On that license, it said Prime Strategies, okay? Prime Strategies. Congratulations, you're in business with one of the biggest companies in the world. Why? Because Prime has, you know, so many different businesses, it's not even funny. So you're going to occasionally hear about some of those other businesses or see other businesses' names, okay, on our pages. Why? Because they're different divisions of the company. And I want you to understand that, okay? In corporate business, corporate does business with corporate business. Just let's be real, okay? So they have a division for everything. Every division is another business. So when you see Prime anything, just know that it's the same company, mother company, that we're with, okay? We're just using a different division. Now, last time we were here on PrimeGate Global, I was doing a demonstration for you guys, and Michelle had to actually share her screen because I was unable to. And if you remember, we could see some stuff, right? So let's go over there and take a real quick look and refresh our memories about what we looked at. Well, you'll see a map with a lot more numbers and a whole lot more orange circles on it, okay? This is important. Why is it important? Well, it's important because it tells you that we're continuing to add virtual boxes every single day, okay? Now, I will go on record here to say that a lot of you have written in, a lot of you have sent messages and said, nothing's happening, nobody's doing this, nobody's doing that. No, that's far from the truth, okay? Actually, we're growing so fast that it's unbelievable, all right? Now, we have the opportunity to grow all of these places and all of these areas. But what's really fun and what's really important here is we can now see the live devices that have been sent out as test devices, just so that all of you all have a much better experience and all of your team has a better experience. So when this stops circling, you're going to see a different map. And now you see that map, and that map has purple circles on it or pink circles or whatever color you want to call this. Okay. And what's really important about these is you can compare this map to the other map that we were just looking at, and you can actually see those virtual cities go to on-demand cities. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that the box is plugged in, okay, and it's working. It's actually producing information, all right? That's very important. So we're able to actually show people that now. You'll see some dots, okay, all over the place. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, let me show you an example. I'll use my own example so that I'm not showing anybody else's stuff here. And you just keep zooming in with your mouse. It's going to zoom right in, okay? So my good buddy over there, Chuck, is over here somewhere. And here is myself in a small town called Whiteville, not far from Wilmington, okay? And it shows that I have 2 devices, and it shows that they're pink, okay? And if we keep drilling down, it's gonna show you that I live in a rural area at the end of a dirt road or dirt driveway, gravel driveway, I should say. And when you drill down far enough, guess what happens? Now you're looking at a different color. Why is that important? Well, it's important because now you're looking at the gateway. So all the gateways are going to be a fluorescent yellowy green looking color. And they're all going to tell you, depending on the information that you put in, where it is, what it is, okay, and who it belongs to. It's really, really important because you're going to want to track your team. You're going to want to make sure that your team stuff is working, okay? So that being said, that's what's really important about the difference in the 2 maps that you can see right now, okay? So hopefully you all are familiar with what the data collection looks like. Let's see if I can get logged into my data collection. Again, this is Prime Gate City, another division of Prime, guys, okay? Now, this shows you that this is my device, and when I click on it and click summary, it says that I have 2 and 2 are within range, and it tells you that one of them is a gateway, right? So that would have been the neon color. Tells you that the other is a refrigerator, right? And then if I click on it, it's going to give me the last 71 checks on my refrigerator. So what's happening is the device inside my refrigerator, which happens to be a temperature and humidity sensor, is pinging my gateway every 20 minutes and giving it the information so that you can see the different times and the different temperatures that happen in my household, right? So that's really, really important. We can prove that our devices, that our business is working for us, okay? Now, there's a chart department, guys, okay? You can see it on a chart. You can set your notifications. I don't have any set. You can go in settings. But what's really, really cool is if you want to, right? Let's say you want to see where your team has the device located. You can go to map, okay, and you can hit enter. And now what's going to happen is you're going to actually see exactly the GPS coordinates for that particular device, okay? And yes, this happens to be my home. And as you can see, I'm surrounded by fields. Now, what's really cool about this is, let's say that we have a device that's really working, I mean, like crazy, right? And you can drill in and you can see what's around it. You can see what the territories are like. You can see if there's tall buildings, small buildings, lots of trees, hills, whatever the case may be. So this is really, really important when you're determining if your devices are working correctly and how you can mirror devices that are working really, really well. So hopefully you guys get the picture that this is pretty important stuff, okay? So you've seen this, your marketing's here, your ecology's here, all of this stuff is gonna begin to grow for you, okay? And I would recommend that you all get in there and just play with it, okay? Because now it's pretty stable. And if we want to break it, then let's break it before we bring the masses on, okay? Let's make sure that we get it fixed before we bring in the masses. So the next big thing, remember we were talking about everybody wanting to see their HNT, and there was reasons why we couldn't see the HNT. Well, let me ask you a question that nobody was asking. What do we do with the HNT when we get it? Once we get it, what do we do with it? Well, that's a great question, right? We want to be able to do whatever we want to do with it. If that's traded in, we want to be able to trade it in. Maybe we want to exchange it for BTC. Maybe we want to cash it in for fiat. Well, we had no way to do that until now, okay? So what I want you guys to focus on is the Supreme Exchange. Now, Supreme, okay, is another Prime company and was built by Prime. That's important. This was done for us, okay? So eventually, this exchange will be opened to the general public. But for a while, it's going to be our own little private play place, all right? And so the fun part is that when you're on your digital wallet dashboard, you can see your fiat currencies as well as your cryptocurrencies, okay? And you can see Tricity 1, Helium 1. That's because we tested my wallet, all right? We tested my wallet. Now the second test is going to take it up higher than that. And I expect that to be in the next 24 hours. As soon as that test happens and we can confirm that these wallets are working correctly, you're going to start seeing the HNT and the Tricities drop into each one of those wallets. This is important because all of us want to know that what we're doing is working correctly. But more importantly, let's click on the exchange button, please. When we go to the exchange, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to want to know that you can do what you want to with this, right? So you're going to want to know that you can do what you want to. So when you land on the exchange, there's select trade pair. It's real important. It defaults to USD, just so you know. And the very last one added here was HNT to USD, which happens to be about $1.08 at the moment. Okay. And that's important because if this wasn't on this exchange, there'd be no way to move it. But wait a minute, what are we moving it to? Well, we probably can't move it straight to USD. What do we do? Well, let's go up here and click BTC under pairs, and you'll see that both HNT and TRC to BTC have been added. Okay, this is really, really important. Why? Because Prime is going to be dealing in a lot of HNT and a lot of TRC. Okay, now some of you may have been on the last call and some of you may not. So I'm going to take the opportunity to just remind everyone that TRC is connectricity. Connectricity. So there's a new power going around the world, right? Going around the globe. It's called US, connectricity. And so this actual utility token that belongs to Prime is going to be something that we will be given as well, which is kind of cool. All right, so it's a new utility token. It's going to be an awesome piece to add to our portfolio. So I was asked earlier today, well, how much is Tricity worth? Well, it's worth $1. It's dollar for dollar right now. So for every Tricity that you would receive, you can count that as $1. So as you can see, there have been a lot of things going on in the background, okay? And I just, again, really want to thank all of you. Keep you guys in the moment of now, because all we have is now, okay? All we have is now. We're here, we're now, and we're in the moment. Now, the real important part of that is that we're all growing together and moving forward together. And I want you all to think about this. Someone said to me the other day, or actually to Sean and I, we were on a call together, and they said, you know, sometimes we don't hear you guys' voice for a little while. We get a text or we get a message, but we don't hear your guys' voice. Guys, let me tell you something. First of all, we are on around the clock calls, okay? Constantly on the phone or Zoom with somebody. More importantly, let me ask you guys something. Do you guys really think that we would keep it a secret? When things blow up, when things come to the forefront, like all of this, right? We want to get on calls. We want you guys to celebrate with us. This is our work together. We are manifesting this together. So there are no secrets out there. We're not holding back. We're keeping everybody in the loop the best that we can. And we're working very hard to make sure that this happens as quickly and as smoothly as possible. Now, what I will tell you is we've tried to speed up a couple things just so that everybody could feel like things were moving faster. And it didn't go quite as well as we wanted it to, okay? So we have to go at a steady speed. And that's what I want you guys to understand. More than anything else in the world, this company has a very steady speed that it's been.
Sorry.
No worries. You okay over there, buddy?
Yeah.
Okay. The whole time that we've been building, the whole time we've been growing, we've been at a very steady speed. All right. Now, I'll be the first to admit, you know, as an Aries, I'm impatient. and I like to go a lot faster than the average guy. So Chuck's cars appeal to me nicely. But at the end of the day, I also know that we can't be careless and reckless, and we have to make sure that we do everything correctly. So, Sean, I know that you were listening intently. Did I miss anything that we wanted to go over or that we discussed earlier?
I think Chris, we've actually talked about everything. We just want everybody to realize that the shipments are getting sent out. We're getting verifications of those.
Yeah.
We're getting all of the payments put in, and one by one, taking all of the accounts from the Excel spreadsheets. We're getting all of the payment systems put in place so that we're not behind. Some of the stuff that we thought we were going to have was actually coming from Oola and through the UpToGive portal. So that is no longer taking place. So we'll be doing stuff direct and with Prime and Oola, but on our own. So just realize, everybody, this is about building. You know what we didn't say, and which should be said, is the IoT is a multi-trillion-dollar a year business, and it's doing nothing except for growing.
Yes.
And ladies and gentlemen, we get to be with the Fortune 100 companies that have allowed us to have city developer licenses and to be able to share this process with our friends and our families to change our lives. And that is such a big mouthful with all of the things coming. We haven't told you about all of the things coming that after we get these processes done, because the truth is, shortly, when we all show up, we're able to have our customers go to the website, order their boxes, choose a city, be a developer if they choose to, whatever level they are. They're getting their TV, they're getting their chats, they're getting all of these things on around the globe to change their lives, including their banking, everything. What do we really just did? We created a business that's online that will be able to be handled on your cell phone anywhere in the planet, where you're going to be able to instruct and have your money sent that you can spend anywhere in the world and build your business anywhere in the world, and requires you not to be in any business except for the one that you own on the latest business, the number one business on planet Earth that makes even more than Amazon and Walmart combined. That's what we have. That's really what you guys are all sitting here and have a piece of. So we do apologize for the timing. We understand the value of what it is, and that's why surely you're going to see all of these processes in place, shipments in place, payments are on time, all the stuff that we would all expect normally. We expect them to. We all have to eat. So they are getting done right away. So don't misinterpret this call as a way to push off. We're expecting those immediately, shortly. But we wanted you to know today what's coming and why we've been taking the time to work with Keith to bring in this infrastructure so that you know this is a long-term deal and not a get rich quick buck thing and we're out next week type thing. So we just want you to know that. And we're very excited about what's happening. And I can't express it any deeper than that. Probably, maybe I'm just too tired. I just don't have the words tonight, but I am very excited. And at the end of the day, all of you are the most important thing to me, every single one of you, whether it's Chris or Michelle or WB or every single person on this call. You're the only part that matters to us, and you're the only part that matters to me. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Sean. You know, something else that we didn't mention that I want to make sure that we mention, we brushed over communication a little bit, okay? And I want to go a little bit deeper into communication. We want to assimilate, okay? We want to assimilate the best communication possible, but we also want everybody to feel like a family and one team, okay? So we're going to be communicating with all of you all in a manner that's going to feel very team style, okay? But it's going to be one team, one group moving forward. So Sean and I and Michelle and a couple of the ladies behind the scenes that none of you all have had the opportunity to meet yet are all going to be working on intel for each one of you guys. So communication on a weekly basis. And what that's going to look like is we envision, right? We envision that if we were on a team, what would we want? We'd want somebody to open our week, right? Open our week with maybe some action items and some goals for the week, right? And we'd want those people leading us to also close out our week, right? And tell us, how did we do? Did we hit our goals? You know, did we get all the action items completed? Do we need to carry anything over to next week? And I think it's really important that we establish that. So it is in the process as we speak, to be created. We've had the ladies working on CSV files today. We also acquired a new communications platform today, and you guys should be seeing something happening with that very, very soon. So what I would like to say is that your expectation should be something like Mondays, okay, barring that Monday's not a holiday, right? The first day of the week, and Fridays. Why Fridays? Well, because most of us, when we get our business where we want to go, right, we're going to be working less. We're not going to be working 7 days a week around the clock. We're going to be working a little less. And I would like to see you guys be able to structure a lot of your business in a 5-day work week. So if we can do that and put it as an opening and a close to the week, and then of course on the next Monday, you know, report what happened on the weekend, if anything major happened and those type of things, then I think everybody will feel a lot more informed, not only more informed, but more educated and more secure. And that's what it's really all about. So wanted to kind of let you guys in on that loop as well. Some of the latest news that I got that I haven't had an opportunity to even tell Sean about yet is all of payroll is supposed to be completed this week. There was a slowdown on that, and I want to apologize. We had the opportunity to institute a system that will allow us to do this a lot faster on the next 15th. And quite honestly, what I would like to see is us hit a button and everybody is distributed. Okay. And so we had the opportunity to kind of experiment with a little something like that, and it's being put into place. And God willing, we'll be able to use that on the next 15th. Obviously, we will be auditing that to make sure that it's correct. But, you know, at the end of the day, wouldn't it be nice to depend on something that's a little bit faster than the human, right? And then today, this evening, actually, or tomorrow, Michelle and I are expecting to get a very nice list of shipping and tracking information. So it's supposed to be a big week. So what does that look like? Let's manage everyone's expectations for shipping. Okay. Just know that we'll be sending devices out on a daily basis. Okay. But we are shooting for Wednesday to be our big ship day. In other words, if we have a lot of devices going to a certain area or being drop shipped or something of that degree, we'd like to see that go out on Wednesday. So they'll have Monday and Tuesday to prepare and get ready for that. Okay. And then get it out on Wednesday. And then it's still got Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, hopefully, to travel and get where it's going, or at least the majority of the way it's going. So that's kind of our plan. That's what we're working on. And those are really the most important updates that I could possibly give you guys. Again, we can't thank each and every one of you enough. You're all very, very important to us. You are the winner that you know that you are, okay? You are the winner that you know that you are. You're in the right team. You've got the right help, and we're all going to get there together. So I want to thank everybody for coming this evening. I definitely want to thank WB for putting everything together for us on such short notice and allowing you guys to get the insider scoop on all of that information as it's coming through. So look forward to more of these type calls. Also look forward to more written communication, and know that we're just around the corner, guys. This is the week that we sit on the edge of our office chairs, okay? This is the week that we sit on the edge of our office chairs and we go, it's coming, it's there, yeehaw. So thank you, everyone. God bless. We'll see you next time. Thank you for everything that you're doing, and we look forward to seeing you guys next time. Thank you all. Have a good evening. Thank you, WB. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Michelle. Thanks, everyone.